My name is Modibe Olabenjo, and on this channel, I talk about experiences on the journey of intimacy with God and productivity and wisdom for effective living. So, today, I want to talk directly to my fellow overthinkers. You know who you are, the ones with endless ideas, constantly bouncing between thoughts and spending hours in your head before even getting started with anything. If that's you, then this video is definitely for you. So today we are diving into the Overthinker's Guide to Productivity. I'll be sharing 4 powerful strategies to help you with getting things done more productively as an overthinker. So ready? Let's dive in. So number 1, understand your personality. Now, understanding your personality is a major key to improving productivity. If you're someone with intellectual strengths, and the intellectual strength is one of the Clifton strengths in the Gallup Strength Finder. So if you're someone with that strength, you definitely enjoy thinking deeply and spending a lot of time in your own thoughts. You might even feel like you have 20 tabs open in your head at once. And while that makes you very creative, because you find out that you mostly come up with original ideas, it can also lead to analysis paralysis and endless what ifs. Sometimes that 1 hour task ends up taking about 3 hours, and still you haven't even gotten into the exact work that you set out to do. So I'm sure that sounds familiar, right? So knowing your strength and your unique wiring can really help you approach tasks with better self-awareness. I really recommend taking a personality test if you haven't already. Trust me, it's a game changer. You will get insights that not only improve your productivity but also your relationship. Now, if you're feeling like, why can't I just get things done even though I always have so many ideas? You might actually have the strengths in both the strategic and the intellectual domains. And this doesn't mean that you are lazy. Nope, it doesn't mean that you're lazy. It just means that for you, work done is often in thinking, planning, envisioning. You spend more time planning what to do without actually taking steps forward. Now, once you know this about yourself, you can be proactive and then consciously develop an action bias by scheduling routine time blocks for taking real action in a way that sets you up to not get stuck in analysis paralysis, but to turn your ideas into actions. So ask yourself, what's my personality? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And what weaknesses comes with this my strengths? Now, knowing this will empower you to mitigate your weaknesses and capitalize on your strength, which is very important. Number 2, just obey. So here's one of my favorite sayings. Spirituality is a productivity strategy. Yes, you heard that right. Spirituality is a productivity strategy. Now, a little story. Back in April, the Holy Spirit was nudging me to wake up at a specific time every morning. Now that meant I had to start going to bed way earlier. Well, maybe not way earlier, but like earlier than I normally would go. But I wasn't paying attention. I had so much to do. I had just entered into 2 major responsibilities and was continually overstretched. So I kept overstretching myself to stay up late, which ultimately led to me being burnt out, less productive, and ironically, I was sleeping longer because, of course, I was so tired. So interestingly, I was woken up at that particular time I was being nudged to wake up every morning, but I would just go back to sleep because I was really tired. Now, fast forward to about 6 months down the line, I was speaking to somebody about finding it very difficult to complete a particular course I started, right? And he explained to me how he has maintained the same sleep and wake up schedule for 14 years. And you know what? This made it possible for him to build the routines, that were tied to the major things he had to consistently deliver on. When I heard it, I was so inspired. And it made me to reevaluate my own energy cycle. And then I discovered that my productivity was best at the very time the Holy Spirit had been nudging me to wake up. It finally clicked. Immediately, I restructured my schedule. And lo and behold, waking up at that time has made me so much more productive rather. It has made me so much productive and well rested. And sometimes I just think, imagine if I just obeyed since. I would have saved myself 6 months of stress. There was actually grace to rest deeply within the time I was required to sleep, and grace for me to be consistent and to get work done in that time that the Holy Spirit was actually asking me to stay up. So, my advice, when you get that nudge to change your routine or to do something differently, just obey. The one who knows your future is guiding you. Don't even second guess it at all. Just trust the Holy Spirit leading inside of you. Is definitely for your best. I mean, Psalm 139, verse 16 says that all of your days are written in His book. So trust me. He knows what is best for you per season. He knows what you need per season. So lean in, ask God, listen, and obey every time you get a nod. Three is focus on what moves the needle. This one is very crucial. Focus on the actions that actually drive results. I used to struggle with meeting up with deliverables on a certain project I was working on. Even though I had everything scheduled on my calendar because I'm a big planner, my mind would always wander into every little detail, and I would start working on things that weren't directly tied to the main thing I was working on, like the major thing that I was going to be assessed on the project. So I made a small but very powerful change. I reviewed the projects and my KPIs, and I highlighted the exact actions that led to the results I was going to be assessed on. So instead of what I would normally do, which is just to block out time for a particular work or a particular project and just let my mind go, what I did then was I added exactly what needed to be done on my calendar. That's the exact deliverables that I will be assessed on as a note on my calendar. Seeing that specific deliverable written down each time I open my calendar helped me to stay very focused. It helped me stay very focused on what would move the needle. So no more overthinking or getting into tiny details that weren't going to lead to the real thing I was working on. I just went straight to the core task. Now ask yourself, what is the exact thing that will get me closer to my goal today? Focus on that thing and just let every other thing wait. So put it in your calendar, put the exact tasks that you need to get done, and then just focus on that. Number four is know your distractions and manage them. Lastly, we need to talk about distractions. What is your biggest distraction? For me, is social media. Even just seeing a notification can open up a whole web of thoughts in my head and make it very hard to refocus on the task I was working on. So to combat this, I keep my phone internet, my phone data, turned off until noon as much as I can. And this is because morning are my most productive times. So I always try as much as possible to protect it by keeping my social media out of the reach. So I even have a separate tab. The tab has no social media apps on it, so that if I need to do something online, I don't need to deal with notifications or being distracted with messages or things like that. So I have a separate tab that I use when I need to do like work online or something. So what distracts you? You need to identify it and find a way to manage it proactively. We'll just do a little recap of all we've discussed. So the first thing we talked about in productivity for overthinkers like you, like I, is understanding your personality. Know your strengths and weaknesses and use that knowledge to work smarter. Number two is just to be. Spirituality is a productivity strategy. Always remember that. Number three is focus on what moves the needle. Be clear about your deliverables and tackle the most impactful tasks first. And then the fourth one is know your distractions and manage them effectively. Identify what pulls you away from focus and put strategies in place to help you mitigate it. Now, I really hope this has been so helpful. These are tips that have really helped me as an overthinker that I could be most of the time, and I really hope it helps you. So, if you're ready to take action on these tips right now, I've created a workbook. with a step-by-step guide to help you to get started on boosting your productivity if you are an overthinker like me. It also contains links to self-assessment and some tools that you can actually use to help you understand yourself better and help you stay more productive. It's got everything you need, like every single thing you need to step up your productivity. So click on the link in the description and you'll be able to download the workbook. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, you've got this. So one step at a time until the next time. Sending you lots of loves. Bye.